If you're looking for advice on how to get the most out of your irrigation system, you clicked on the right video. Coming up, I talk about my irrigation system in detail. I cover the system that I'm using, the zones, and the watering strategy that I use based on what's happening in the lawn. Let's get started. Hey YouTube, welcome to Project Golf Course Lawn Season 5. So irrigation. I've gotten a lot of comments from you guys asking, what kind of irrigation setup do I use, how often do I water, and that kind of thing. I've been a little bit reluctant to make that video because honestly, I don't water the lawn that much. This year in Georgia, we've been getting a lot of rain fairly regularly, so I just haven't had the need to turn the irrigation on. However, if you guys have been following the content, you guys know that recently the lawn was top dressed. That changes things, guys. Whenever you top dress your lawn, your things that you want to really do is get the soil nice and healthy, do the top dressing project. But then the thing that really helps with recovery is a lot of heat and then water to kind of help the lawn bounce back. At this point, we're about 4 days or so since the lawn was top dressed. So I've been running the irrigation regularly to help with that process. You can see that Alex is also doing the same thing. So today, let's talk about irrigation. I'm going to show you guys the system that I'm using, the settings that I have, and we'll just kind of walk through it. So the system I'm using for irrigation, it's mounted here in the garage. You guys can ignore my my clever shelf for my Chapin backpack sprayer, but this system is from Hunter. It's their X-Core system. I have the rain sensor integrated, so the rain sensor, whenever you have this turned on, right now I have it bypassed, but when you have this turned on, what this will do is if it receives rain, or if it senses that there's been rain, the schedule will not run. So the rain sensor in my house is mounted up there. That's the rain sensor, so you guys can see where that is. All right, so as far as watering schedule, typically with Bermuda only needs like 1 inch to 1.5 inches of water per week to be happy. But whenever you're top dressing the lawn, that changes quite a bit. So what I've been doing is I've been running irrigation daily just for this first week to really help the lawn bounce back quickly. So we can walk through the settings and I can show you guys how I do that. So right now the system is turned off. As far as seeing run times for each zone, I have a total of 6 zones. I'm only using 5 of them. So the first zone is the front lawn. So if I turn that on, if I start the system up and turn that on for you guys, you can actually see it. So if I just press and hold this down, it will switch to the first zone, zone 1, which is the front lawn, and that runs for 5 minutes. The reason why I only run it for 5 minutes on the front lawn is because there's quite a bit of a slope, and it will begin to run off pretty quickly if I run it much longer. I'll just end up wasting a lot of water. So you guys can see it coming to life here, and there's the front lawn running. There are 1, 2 sprinkler heads, one down here by the mailbox, and then one over here, one at the corner, and the one that you guys can't see, you can see like that fountain coming over, that's over on the other side of the hill. But it has pretty good coverage. It gets pretty much all of the sidewalk and the front lawn. Does a pretty good job. The second zone is a zone which I'm not using. That covered the flower beds here, which I'm not, there's no flowers in there. We've had everything taken out and it's pretty much just mulch. So I have that zone disabled. The third zone is for the back, is the first of the back. So that one is set to run for 12 minutes. In the back, I have the zone set to run a little bit longer because one, the surface is flatter, so the water will sit on the surface a little bit better, and so it makes sense to run it a little longer and actually get a good drenching. Versus when you're not dealing with watering for top dressing, really you want to water really heavily once per week to get to just really soak the lawn, get that inch and a half of water on the surface, and then just let the grass fend for itself the rest of the time. When you're top dressing or trying to recover from top dressing, I'm watering daily in the morning just to make sure the surface stays nice and hydrated, so that it bounces back really quickly. So now you can see what zone 3 looks like. That is pretty much covering the patio area. You've got 1 sprinkler head here, 1 right in front of the patio, 1 that you guys can't really see over here that's by the flower pots, and there's 1 far one over there. So it's a total of 4 sprinkler heads that make up this zone. Let's switch to zone 4. All right, YouTube, so as you guys can see, zone 4 also set up to run for 12 minutes. I'll take you guys out to go see that. Again, similar to zone 3, we're talking about more of the back lawn. You've got 1 sprinkler head right here. And then the remaining 4, let me see if I can walk over this and not get wet. The remaining 4 are covering the back lawn. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then 4 further out. So the first zone 3 covers just this area from the patio out to the zone 4 is, and this is like the midsection of the lawn. So you guys can see how that runs in there, and they're circular, they kind of just pan back and forth to cover that area of the lawn. On to zone 5. Okay, YouTube, so zone 5 is the zone that I run the longest. You can see this one is set to run for 15 minutes. Part of the reason for that is that zone 5 is really covering the area of the lawn where there is like a crest or like you could say like the swale between my lawn and the neighbor's lawn. So the reason why I run the sprinklers longer there is because I want more water to be able to sit on that area that tends to dry out really easily. So there you have zone 5, guys. So there's one that's kind of off to the left that you guys can't really see, and there's 1, 2, and 3 more sprinkler heads. And as you can see, they're really targeting this back area. So the theory behind why I run the sprinklers a little bit longer out there is that the grade of the lawn causes water to come this way towards us. So by putting, a heavier dose of water down, that water, one, I'm going to get this crest area, which tends to dry out more quickly, but also any excess water is going to simply drain into the lawn and water this additional area. So it's not going to be really wasted. On to the last zone, zone 6. All right, YouTube, so zone 6 is just here, the area between Alex's lawn and my lawn. It's a swale. This one only runs for 5 minutes, kind of like the front, because of how much runoff there is. So that guy, you can see this guy coming to life. It's like the smaller sprinkler heads. Those are just kind of, I call them the fizzers. There's probably a correct name for them. I'm sure you guys in the comments will let me know what these are actually, the proper name for these guys are. But there's one here, there. I've got one here, and of course, guys, again, of course the vanity strip is not going to be left out. I mean, no other part of the sidewalk really has its own dedicated one that definitely hits just it, but the vanity strip, because the vanity strip wants its own sprinkler head. So there's the sprinkler head for the vanity strip. You can see it covers, does a pretty good job covering this area, and there you go. So this last zone, zone 6, is what covers the side lawn and the vanity strip. So let me show you guys some of the options. I'll show you guys how I've got the watering days set up now. If we go over to water days, currently you can see it's set to run every single day, and it's only going to be like this just for this week, so that I can ensure the lawn gets watered regularly, because again, I'm trying to recover from top dressing. As far as the run times, this is where you would go in and set each one of the individual run times. If I wanted to change how long zone 1 runs, zone 2 runs, zone 3 runs, and so on and so forth, I can go in here and change this up or down, and that will change the program for every time the sprinklers cycle. As far as the start time, I'm starting really early in the morning. So I run my sprinklers at 4 a.m. That is like a couple hours before sunrise, and that allows, that's when there's not a ton of wind on the lawn, or a ton of wind outside, so the sprinklers actually work pretty well. Like right now, ideally, is not the best time to run sprinklers, because once it starts getting warmer and the wind starts blowing, the sprinklers become less effective at covering their designated area properly. So either water in the evening, or in my preference, early in the morning before sunrise, to get the best coverage result. And then probably the setting that I use fairly often is the manual 1 station. I love this guy. So if I want to say I want to water just the front lawn just by itself. So let me turn the system off. So you can see right now it's off. With manual 1 station, you can pick one zone and have the program run just for that zone one time, and the system will shut off. So if I say manual 1 station like that, and then I pick, let's say zone 6. We'll pick the last one because we want to give the vanity strip. Actually, I'm changing the time. We want to give the vanity strip some love. So we're zone 6. So I switch from manual 1 station to run, and if we come over here, in a few seconds, this should come to life again. So what will happen now is this zone will only run for its designated time, 5 or 6 minutes or whatever it's set to, and then the system will shut off. So it's a way of allowing you to water just one area of the lawn if you want, without having to run through the entire cycle or having to monitor when it turns off. So guys, hope you guys found this useful. As you guys can see, Alex is also watering his lawn too, doing a great job getting that lawn to bounce back. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. I wanted to give you guys something really quick to look at. Now is the time that actually makes sense to show you guys what I'm doing for irrigation, because frankly in the past I just haven't been running it. If you guys found this useful, definitely leave me a comment below and let me know if there's something that I missed out, something that you guys would have liked to see. And if you're using something different from the Hunter, I know Rainbird's a really common system. If you're using Rainbird, let me know how that works. And if you guys have one of those cool systems that have the newer ones, I think you can use your smartphone to kind of turn the zones on and off. I think that's how Alex's work, which is pretty cool. Mine, I don't have, you know, the high tech one. So let me know what you guys are using for irrigation and how it works out for you, how often you're running it. It'd be interesting to know what you guys are doing for watering times. Because I mean, I'm starting mine, as you guys saw, at 3:45 a.m. We'd be interested to know like what time you guys are running your irrigation, just out of curiosity. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you're not yet a subscriber, consider subscribing. I will see you guys next time. Have an amazing day.